I actually wanted to come to the back here. As you can see, the exhaust is here. I want to show you guys something. Alright, there's no smell. It's a diesel, and you know how annoying diesels are, right? When they stay idle and the fumes just come out. And this one, just like Mazda diesels, doesn't produce fumes, the dreaded diesel smell. Hi guys, this is one of the best renders I've seen. High definition and very accurate rendering. Great job. Alright, for those eagle eye viewers, you would have already guessed what car I'm in. I'm on an extended test drive on the new Kia Carnival, and I have to tell you, man, I'm falling in love with this car. Okay, first off, I'm not gonna shut off the engine. I just want to bring you guys out to experience something with me. Okay, there's only one spec in Malaysia, and it is this diesel powered variant. Alright, and it's an 11-seater. Okay, what I'm gonna do now is I actually wanted to come to the back here. As you can see, the exhaust is here. I want to show you guys something. Alright, there's no smell. It's a diesel, and you know how annoying diesels are, right? When they stay idle and the fumes just come out. And this one, just like Mazda diesels, doesn't produce fumes, the dreaded diesel smell that I absolutely hate. You can actually go to a Kia dealership and try this yourself. Alright, of course I don't recommend you to just stay there and keep sucking in. And the thing is, they filter it out, because I was saying just now, I stay in that condo and I stay in level 1. The other day there was a BMW diesel parked below, and I was in my toilet, and I can actually smell the diesel fume. Alright, let's have a good look at the Kia Carnival. See, the thing is, when you launch a car in every single market, it's not just whether the car is good or not. The pricing has to come in as well. The specifications all have to come into play as well. And I think this is the one car that broke the whole bang for buck equilibrium. Alright, it is, in essence, some may call it an MPV, but it has that kind of muscular styling an SUV has. And this is the key. From the key, you can actually open the doors, right? They're powered from left and right, okay, and lock and unlock is over here. Alright, so, and opening the boot as well. Let me close the door. Alright, in fact, when I had the XC90, the Volvo XC90, my biggest wish is to hope that the rear doors are actually a sliding door. That was my biggest wish, because as a family carrier, a sliding door makes so much sense, because all family carriers are big and wide, right? So when you park in usual parking spaces, the usual door just don't cut it. A sliding door is the best kind of doors that the industry has to give. Alright, so I've actually talked extensively about the styling of the car. I think it's a very handsome looking car. The whole front end is just unique, stylish, and yet in a way it carries a very Germanic, understated kind of confidence looks. You know, without the sister brand like Hyundai going everywhere with their styling. I just love how Kia does their designs these days, right? Again, the illusion that you get that this is the headlamp, but actually when you look at the entire front assembly, it is actually just a chrome strip, you know, surrounding by the clamshell hood, and then the bumpers, and then the headlight assembly is just one unit here, one unit here, one unit here, and then the daytime running lights. It's just such a great design, right? Makes the car look good, and it's functional, and it's just really nice. It is a big car, but the maneuverability of this car is just so good. All right, I'm gonna start from the rear. Here you have a one strip tail lamp. The open button is here. That's the reverse camera, and of course with all three rows up, you still get a fantastic huge boot space with a lot of cubby storage, you know, hooks and points and all that. I mean, like, what's that seatbelt doing here, right? So these are the third row seats, the fourth row seats, mind you, that you can just easily pull it, and the whole thing just pops up like that. Okay, and of course the second row and the third row are adjustable. You have the rails, so you can move them to optimize for this fourth row. All right, and when you don't need it, it folds completely flat into the floorboard. Excellent design. It is an excellent design. You also get a 12-volt socket over here. All right, it's just one of the best design cars out there. Let's go to the middle row. I just love this floating roof design with the blacked out D pillars, but then they didn't just black out this part, they added this, which makes it looks really nice from the sides, because it is a very big car with a stylish ornament there. It just makes it look all the more attractive. All right, very spacious ingress and egress. Just gonna hop in here, and then the little push of the button slides. I can tell you, you should go into a Kia dealership and just experience the car yourself. Go in there and slowly touch everything, because every touch point, like this entire handle, feels so good. It's cold to the touch. It's satin chrome. Every surface, every material, every fit and finish is just precise. I have to say this now, Korean cars absolutely beat Japanese when it comes to fit and finish. All right, it's just amazing. What I meant by that is, if you go up to, okay, you go up to a French car, all right, you try to run your fingers between two assembly points. All right, this is one assembly point, this is another material, this is another material, and this is another material, right? All these are parts and pieces that were put together. All right, and look at this. This is just flush. There are no sharp points, nothing. I cannot find a single spot where there are sharp assembly points. You know, even this internal molding parts, there are no sharp edges. You know, it's mind-boggling. The Koreans, especially Kia, you know, when it comes to their attention to detail, right, they are another level, and it's just solid. I don't know whether you guys follow a TikTok channel or not, where the guy goes up to every car and then press their interior panels, right, and just you can hear the creaking sounds and all that. I can guarantee now that Kias and Hyundais, they are at the level of Lexus. All right, maybe in certain ways they exceed in terms of price point, execution. What I mean by that is, at every price point, there's a certain way that the assembly and execution are done. All right, these are top grade leathers that they use. Right, proper beautiful leather, beautiful perforation. The stitching, everything is just high grade. You know, it's just really, really nice. Now the middle row, of course, I get a lot of leg room because I am maximizing it currently. All right, but the good thing is that you can optimize. The second row is now furthest back and then even recline, and the third row still get proper adult seating. All right, but when you need to have pop up the fourth row, you can actually shift this row up a bit, and you can shift this row up a bit, and I can guarantee you it is still perfectly usable. All right, the third row, you get full size armrest, cup holders, phone holders, even an iPad holder. Actually, when they do the cutout in the cup holder, very smart of the Koreans. All right, you get a USB port, you get your own sun visor. You know, it's just brilliant. It's just brilliant. And the materials, I kid you not, you go up there and you cannot touch a surface of plastic that is cheap. You know, I mean, yes, these are hard plastics, these are not soft plastics, but plastics have different grades. These are really good grades, and they don't have sharp points. I can't find any sharp assembly edges in this car at all, and this is very, very rare in all kinds of cars. I mean, put aside the likes that like Bentley or Aston or Rolls-Royce, where they leather wrap every single thing in the car, right? But of course, those are cars that cost, you know, $1 million or two, you know, so they have the budget to do that. These everyday cars achieving this type of precision in assembly is amazing. All right, sitting in the middle row, you get your aircon vents up here and here, and you get your own little climate control, right, independent of the front, which is really good. And then here are the cup holders. See, it's not just two holes that you just dump it there. They put thoughts into it, because you have the cutouts to put your phone, right? You can even rest your phone like that. It's just nice. Okay, now these are not the top spec cars because they have to optimize pricing. This is an expensive car when you look at the size, the engine, you know, the drivetrain, and the quality of the car. I have to say that the quality is just amazing. All right, there are little hooks down here. There's a USB port here, another USB port here, so it's just really, really nice. Oh, this is like the perfect family car. It's just perfect. And this single piece of glass, my god, this has got to be one of the largest single piece glass that can roll up and down. Usually glasses of this size, you can't really open or close them, you know. That's just brilliant. Right, down here you have a little button to open the door, or you can open here as well. And you'll be wondering, right, but when the doors are open, right, this handle is all the way back here. That's why you have this little button. All right, the seat belts for the front seats, they are adjustable up and down. All round airbags, and it's just amazing. And when you don't seat 3-person, you can actually put this down and it becomes a tray. Put your phone, your cups, put your stuffs here. In fact, this Carnival is also a wonderful 6-seater if you want to. It is an amazing 6-seater. All right, 6 adults, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all having their own wide armrest where both can use. You see this plastic assembly is in the middle. This 2-part is still the leather seats. Why? Because that's your armrest. So thoughtful. And you have these as well for the sides. Whereas the third row, you have this wide armrest, and over here your drinks, your phones, everything. It's just so nice. And you get aircon vents at the back as well, but of course you don't get your own climate control. All right, there's also a USB port over there. That means on both sides. It's just I have to say again, this is the perfect family car. Will I get this over a Velfart? You know, like Velfire or Alphard? 100%. I left the door open, right? I can close it here. Oh. Now, again, just now I mentioned that cost optimizations, because if they spec in, you know, the higher spec, you will get the LCD panel over here, which is really nice because this design was created for 2 extra large LCD screens. Alright, so this is so easy to use. Everything is out here. You swipe and then you get all the stuffs just like an app, right? But of course, I mean, the icons could have been a little bit prettier, but I think the resolution is fine and it's fast and responsive compared to the Peugeot that I tested the other day. But of course, that's like a B segment car. As for this seat, you can control it here, the boss seat or the rear passenger. All right, that's more normal. And look at that, huge space. And again, I want to say this: run your finger all over the car, the assembly of the car, even the aircon vents, you know, everything is high quality. The pedal shifters, you know, these are the type of quality that you usually only get when you go into premium cars, when you go into premium category. All right, and somehow the gloss black plastics of this car, right, it's not like you all will know, right, the C class and the E class, you press it and then it starts creaking. This one doesn't. It's solid. It is just solid. The build of this car, Koreans, you guys are amazing. You guys are just amazing. It's a large center console here, cubby space to put your stuff, cup holders again. You can put your phone here again. Wireless charging here. But of course, I would wish if the wireless charging is not angled that way, but angled that way, you know, goes up instead of down. Then you get a dual purpose, not just charging, but you can look at information on your phone as well. But of course, this car has Apple CarPlay, so, and Android Auto, so they would of course recommend you to connect here and then you get everything here, which is better. All right, you see the plethora of connectivity here, right? USB, and then for data, this too for charging. There's a Qi charger, right? You can charge like 4 devices one go here if one of it has wireless charging. And this is a touch panel. All right, these are touch panels as well. Shortcut keys. I think this would be where I think a physical key could have been better, but hey, they want a uniform kind of styling to it, you know, and I think it looks good. And this piece of metal is like the this is definitely aluminium, you know, and it's just so nice to the touch. You see, these are the parts where they meet, and it's smooth. This is Lexus levels of precision. Again, I have to say this is Lexus levels of precision. You know, it's just so nice. And this gear knob looks like something out of a Bentley, isn't it? Right, it's just so nice. The knurl, and it's cold to the touch, mind you, it's cold to the touch. The knurl pattern, and then all this is just beautiful. It's just beautiful. All right, and it's intuitive as well. You don't have to like turn twice to go from D to R. Can you hear the sound? Yeah, that tells you it's metal. Oh my god. Parking brakes, you know, gloss black, very nice. It's just nice. Everything is just nice. The physical keys here, setting chrome as well, fantastic. Now of course we all would have wished that there is a higher spec model that comes in, you know, only with 3 rows, and we have the captain seats over here, and then you have more functionality and all that. But think about it, ask yourself, isn't this a bargain at 197,000 ringgit, as opposed to if they spec this car up and lose the 4th row? If this car loses the 4th row, it will be subjected to taxation like a passenger car, and the prices of this car will blow up all the way to 350,000 or 370,000. At that point, it's no longer a bargain, right? But now, given that Mazda cleverly spec'd this car as an 11-seater, it becomes tax-free, just like a pickup truck. Think about it. A pickup truck costs about 120 to 130,000, and with what you're getting here, all the car that you're getting, all the metal, all the leather, all the specifications that you're getting, the powered doors and all that, right, is only about 50-60,000 more. It's a bargain. Alright, this car is a bargain. So for those of you who actually have the budget of 300 or 400,000, don't ever forget the fact that you're paying a lot of taxes on those cars, whereas you don't. So you're getting everything out of it. Alright, every single cent that you spent is worthwhile. Okay, and I was surprised that this car drives so well. It's so smooth, quiet, powerful, and it steers really, really well. Alright, so it's a car that I just couldn't find anything to talk bad about. Even this mirror is huge. Probably this, you know, it could have been a sensor type where you have the lights over here, you know, instead of this supplier, this notorious supplier that invented this. I'm like, you need this to slap on this to switch it off, because it juts out like that, so that when you close it, this slaps on it, physically turning it off. I don't know which supplier came up with this, but it's brilliant and ridiculous at the same time. Alright, and this material feels really good. This is the same material as your headliner, and the headliner has a layer of sponge above, just like European cars. So mind you, if it's finished this way with this textile and sponge and glue, it also means that you need to take care of it in 5 or 7 years time. Prolong under the sun, the glue may harden and certain parts may just, you know, drop a little bit, but it's a quick fix. Just apply back the glue and then put it back up. Alright, given that it has such a large side mirror on both sides, visibility is amazing, but I was kind of surprised that the rear view mirror isn't the ultra wide type, because this car is just huge. If you have an ultra wide rear view mirror, you can see what your kids are doing and all that, but in terms of my vantage point, it's not too hard for me, but for a smaller adult, probably. Alright, I just love everything about this car, you know, from the looks, the drive, the specifications, the flexibility of what you have behind you, right? And it's just nice, and it doesn't drive like a van. It doesn't drive like an Alphard or Vellfire. It doesn't drive like a van. It drives like a proper modern premium large SUV. Alright, it drives just as well as the XC90 or the X5. You know, turn and all that is just fantastic. Okay, and I'm gonna go for a drive now and put you guys on the camera. Okay, amazing car, amazing car. This is my choice for the car of the year. Again, I call it the car of the year for Malaysia. It's not just outright competing this against every other car. It also comes into consideration of how they spec the car, how they go with the pricing, the taxation strategy. All this comes into play, because if a car is very good, like the Palisade is not bad, right? Even though for me that kind of styling is just awkward when compared to this. This is a very mature styling. They know what they're doing. They know they didn't put extra lines on this car. That car is of course good as well because same platform with this, you know, very solidly built interior, but it ends up at 380,000. Strategy gone, right? So no matter how good that car is, it will never be my car of the year because it's just unrealistic, right? But this one, this is just brilliant. Okay, brilliant. And look at this. Alright, look at my hand. Look at how wide it is. Why? They know we put our wallets, we put our phones over here. Alright, just clever, clever. Everywhere I look around this car, I just see that the Koreans really outdo everybody now. Okay? And we wait for the Chinese to come. Alright, let's go for a drive. Okay, little and off we go. I just love this car. And the fact that the paddle shifters is large and nicely satin chrome at the back, right, is so comfortable to rest my fingers on it. You know, it's really nice. Okay, I appreciate it when a car doesn't need sophisticated suspension to make their job easier. You know, and at the end of the day, the consumer is the one paying for it. You pay for the air suspension or you pay for the adaptive suspension, but if the tuning wasn't done well, just like this one, the tuning is done beautifully. They use a regular suspension, you know, coils and all that, a regular suspension, but they put in their hard work to make the car ride well, and that's the best scenario, because at the end of the day, from an owner or a driver's perspective, alright, all you care is whether the car is comfortable or not when you're going past a speed bump, comfortable or not when you're going past an expansion joint, or when you put the car into a corner. Alright, you don't care what's working underneath, even though there may be some placebo effect when you heard the guy telling you that, oh, your car has an air suspension, and you thought, oh, air suspension, it must be brilliant, you know, comfortable. But tuning matters a lot as well. That's the core of it, the most important part of it. All right, and the brakes, how when you apply the brakes, does the car suddenly like does the brakes lock up too fast, or it eases its way? All this comes into play, and I think you can tell when a car maker puts in hard work to actually do all these things. And the Koreans certainly do in recent years. I mean, for those of you who do not know, the largest car maker in the world is Toyota. Alright, the second largest is Volkswagen. The third is Hyundai Kia. Yes, this small country out of the southern part of the Korean peninsula is the third largest car maker in the world. Can you imagine that? And it shows in their product. Why would people not buy these products? And I like the fact when I see a product whereby the quality and the luxury appointment of stuffs far exceeds what the brand suggests. You know, that is always a great thing to see. Right? Now this car has a diesel engine, a very powerful diesel engine, so it accelerates, you know, without any drama, and it drives so easily. It's just so easy to drive. I don't feel like I'm driving, like I said just now, I don't feel like I'm driving a van, you know, or a big microbus or a people carrier. It just doesn't drive like that. You know, if you hop into this and then you hop into that 500,000 Mercedes V-Class, that is a van. That drives like a van. That has, you know, cheap seats and all that, you know. And yesterday I was in my colleague Tana's BMW 330e. Those leather seats shouldn't be called leather, you know. Those are just bad bad leather. They don't feel like leather at all. And this, what is fitted in this car is proper. Visibility is great, but it's really wide, mind you. It's really wide. It's a big car. I can park this car next to a BMW X7, and I think this car dwarfs that. Just a huge car. This would be the kind of purchase where when you buy the car, right, you just felt like, oh, I made a great decision. And when you show the car to your friends or family or colleagues and all that, right, I don't think anybody can argue anything given the price and given what it is. All right, think about it. This is like 30,000 above a Mazda 3, or 30,000 above like a CRV or Tiguan and whatnot. And it's a true 11-seater. Your kids can be in the 4th row, all right, and then your family members can comfortably sit in the 2nd and 3rd row. The 2nd and 3rd rows are equal in every way, all right. They're just as comfortable. They have their own aircon vents, their own USB ports. The seats are not cut-size seats and all that. It's just really nice. I mean, my kids love it. This morning when I sent them to school, they were like, wow, Daddy, please get this car, But I'm just a 4-person family. Alright, so yes, this is a car that I will give 4 thumbs up if I have 4 arms, and there's not a step that they put wrong in this car. The execution, the design, the styling, everything. This is every family should have a Kia Carnival. Every single family, should have a Kia Carnival in I know a lot of you are in Velfires and Alphas, but I'm one of those that I'd rather be dead than be seen driving in a van, and this one spent $1 million on a van. This is what I would like, an SUV looking family carrier. That's the best. Alright? Cheers. Alright, now I'm gonna turn back up to my parking, and you can see how maneuverable it is. Alright, given that it's a big car. Maneuverability is about the steering, and also the visibility, all that. And it's so maneuverable. And also how they design, the center of rotation of the car as well, it's just brilliant. Yeah. And the reverse camera, the screen is huge, the 360 render is accurate. Yeah. You can't complain. This car is just so easy to drive. Alright? After I stopped using my XC90, I forgot how to look at the 360 camera, because all my other cars I rely on the reverse camera only. Alright? Yep. No matter how, it is still a big car, okay? Yep. That's it. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like. Cheers.